Hi, welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers, and this is the brand new design called Vector. And it's a dual worthy saber equipped with a Crystal Shard version 2.5 sound card, and this video is going to basically show you how to use it. The sabers are really simple, like any other saber that receives a 1-inch diameter blade. Blades can be purchased with the saber or from the custom saber shop. Insert the blade retention screw is really important, finger tight only. You don't really need to use an Allen key on that. That will keep it from flying out while you're dueling. Of course, if you're doing super hard dueling, you can go and get yourself one of these Allen keys. You probably only need to tighten it a little bit just to keep it from coming out. Once the blade is in, you've got two illuminated anti-vandal switches. The top one boots up the saber. Actually, either of them will boot up the saber when it's in deep sleep like that. Touch on the button and you get your bright red blade. In this case, sometimes it looks orange on camera. Your second button is blaster block, or if you hold it down, it gives you the lockup effect. So a little bit of a delayed pressure. Now if you've got I use my thumb side because I've got large fingers. If you've got really small fingers, you can press in there. What you'll notice is that the buttons are recessed, so you can grip the middle of the saber, ride your hand right up to this de facto suba, and you can grip really high on the saber, which is one of the things that I was asked for in my my combat style saber design, was the ability to grip it up really high and not interfere with the switches. So this is different than the Ascend, different than the Bad Axe, although the Bad Axe does use a recessed switch like that. That's how the switch works. An excellent mid-range sound card. Of course, you've got your auxiliary button. You've also got your flash on clash. You've got up to 16 different swing sounds, up to 16 different clash sounds, because they use some of the sounds from the Crystal Focus version 7 optimized sound fonts. And of course you can purchase all kinds of new sound fonts at saberfont.com, including many of mine. Now you've got two different styles of powder coating. You've got the light side and you've got the dark side. It's really simple, or you can purchase it with no powder coating, just bare metal for a little bit less. Now with the boot up, of course you've got your choice of colors for anti-vandal switches. I've got green, blue, red, purple, and orange. Now with the multicolor saber, it turns on the same way. Right now it's got a green blade, but if I hold these two buttons down temporarily together, you notice that it changes color. And I can toggle through 10 different color presets to get the color that I want. Let's go with a nice purple there. A bright flash on clash. So with your single color dedicated saber, you're going to get a very bright blade of one color. And with the multicolor saber, you're going to get 10 different color presets that come right out of the box ready to use, or they are customizable if you were to read up on the manual and learn how to change the values of the SD card. If you want a super bright dedicated purple blade, well, there is no dedicated purple or orange or ice blue. Those colors are all provided in the multicolor setup. The dedicated saber setup is only for red, green, and classic blue. One thing I failed to show you is how to change sound fonts. That's one sound font. If I turn the saber off and hold down the auxiliary button, I hear a beep. Now I'm in the second of 3 sound fonts that it comes with. Different color. Of course I can change my color for that sound font, and when I turn it off it will remember that color. Change to the third sound font. That's a third sound font. Now the Crystal Shard 2.5 can hold up to 6 sound fonts. It comes with 3. It comes with Korriban, Hero, and Bespin 2. Now to operate the innards of the saber, it's really simple. Just move these out of the way. The access to the inside of the saber is through this. Your cover tech acts as a screw. Just finger tight only. You unscrew, pommel comes off. I always advise to work over a flat surface. You can see that you've got the inside core of the saber. Carefully slides right out. Now when it's in the saber, it's very durable. When it's exposed like this, you can see all the wires and you can get access to all the innards. It's just a clean and easy way to build and assemble the sabers. Of course, it will function outside of the saber. You can turn it on and test it, but Do not use just the core of the saber. Do not use it to fight with or as a flashlight or to flex it, because you might break some of the adhesion on the inside. It's only meant to give you access to the SD card, which is right there, and the battery. To remove the battery, you just get a good grip on the middle of the saber. You can place your hand down on the table if you want. You pull on the ribbon and it pops the battery out. You always want to make sure when you put the battery back in that the ribbon is laid across the battery holder. You also want to make sure that you always put the battery back in with a positive on the positive end and the negative on the negative end. You do not want to put your battery in reversed. If you do that, you can damage the electronics by reverse polarity. So always want to make sure that you replace the battery positive side forward, ribbon across, pop it in, it's ready to go. You hear that boot sound. You can take the battery out to get access to the SD card, but you don't necessarily have to. The SD card pops out, you can remove it with your fingers. It just clears the switches. Make changes, put it in your computer. You can change color configurations or sound fonts. Put it back in, operate one of the buttons to boot it up, and you're ready to go. Now when you insert it, reinsert it in the saber, you want to watch where the buttons are going to line up with your groove. Put it in and you just gently slide it in. And I always don't ram it in. It's not a firearm, you're not loading a clip. You always want to make sure that everything clears, none of the wires catch. You want to make sure that your battery isn't going to get stuck on there and damage the insulation around your battery. When it's in, you want to turn it, make sure your switches are lined up nicely with that groove. Then it's time to slide the pommel on, make the holes line up. And when it's time to put this screw back on, what I like to do is to back it off counterclockwise just a bit till the threads catch. And then you can start to thread it in. And like I said, just turning it finger tight is adequate to keep your saber nice and solid and ready to go. So that's the new saber design, Vector, from Genesis Custom Sabers, and a little bit about how to use it. Thanks for watching.